Marcus Annaeus Lucanus, better known in English as Lucan, was a Roman poet, born in Córdoba, in the Hispania Baetica. Despite his short life, he is regarded as one of the outstanding figures of the Imperial Latin period. His youth and speed of composition set him apart from other poets. Life. 3 brief ancient lives allow for the reconstruction of a modest biography, the earliest attributed to Suetonius, another to an otherwise unknown Vacca, and the third anonymous and undated, along with references in Martial, Cassius Dio, Tacitus's Annals, and one of Statius's Silva. Lucan was the son of Marcus Annaeus Mela and grandson of Seneca the Elder. He grew up under the tutelage of his uncle Seneca the Younger. Born into a wealthy family, he studied rhetoric at Athens and was probably provided with a philosophical and Stoic education by his uncle. He found success under Nero, became one of the emperor's close friends and was rewarded with a quaestorship in advance of the legal age. In 60 AD, he won a prize for extemporizing Orpheus and Laudus Neronis at the Quinquennial Neronia, and was again rewarded when the emperor appointed him to the Augurate. During this time he circulated the first 3 books of his epic poem, Pharsalia, which told the story of the civil war between Julius Caesar and Pompey. At some point, a feud began between Nero and Lucan. 2 very different accounts of the events have survived that both trivialize the feud. According to Tacitus, Nero became jealous of Lucan and forbade him to publish his poems. According to Suetonius, Nero lost interest in Lucan, and Lucan responded by writing insulting poems about Nero that Nero continued to ignore. Other works, though, point to a more serious basis to the feud. Works by the grammarian Vacca and the poet Statius may support the claim that Lucan wrote insulting poems about Nero. Vacca mentions that one of Lucan's works was entitled De Incendio Urbis. Statius's ode to Lucan mentions that Lucan described how the unspeakable flames of the criminal tyrant roamed the heights of Remus. Additionally, the later books of Pharsalia are anti-imperial and pro-republic. This criticism of Nero and office of the emperor may have been the true cause of the ban. Lucan later joined the 65 AD conspiracy of Gaius Calpurnius Piso against Nero. His treason discovered, he was obliged, at the age of 25, to commit suicide by opening a vein, but not before incriminating his mother, among others, in the hopes of a pardon. According to Tacitus, as Lucan bled to death, recalled some poetry he had composed in which he had told the story of a wounded soldier dying a similar kind of death, and he recited the very lines. These were his last words. His father was involved in the proscription, but his mother escaped. Statius's poem about Lucan was addressed to his widow, Polla Argentaria, upon the occasion of his birthday during the reign of Domitian. Works. According to Vacca and Statius, Lucan's works included surviving work, Bellum Civila, on the wars between Julius Caesar and Pompey, often attributed to him, Laus Personas, a panegyric of a member of the Piso family, Lost Works, Catechthonion, Iliacon from the Trojan cycle, Epigrammata, Ad Locutia ad Pollum, Silva, Saturnalia, Medea, Sualtusi Fabuli, Laudus Neronis, a praise of Nero, Orpheus, Prosa Oratia in Octavium Sagittum, Epistulae ex Campania, De Incendio Urbis, on the Roman fire of 64, perhaps accusing Nero of arson. Selected Modern Studies. AHL, Frederick M. Lucan. An Introduction. Cornell Studies in Classical Philology 39. Ithaca, NY. Cornell Univ. PR, 1976. Bach, Shadi. Ideology in Cold Blood. A Reading of Lucan's Civil War. Cambridge, Massachusetts. Harvard Univ. PR, 1997. Dewar, Michael. Laying It On with a Trowel. The Proem to Lucan and Related Texts. Classical Quarterly 44, 199-211. Fantham, Elaine. Caesar and the Mutiny. Lucan's reshaping of the historical tradition in De Bello Civilli 5.237-373, Classical Philology 80, 119-31. Lucan's Medusa Excursus. Its design and purpose. Material discussion 29, 95-119. Fratantuono, Lee. Madness Triumphant. A reading of Lucan's Pharsalia, Lanham, Maryland. Lexington Books, 2012. Henderson, John G. W. Lucan. The Word at War. Ramus 16, 122-64. Johnson, Walter R. Momentary Monsters. Lucan and His Heroes. Cornell Studies in Classical Philology 47. Ithaca, N.Y. Cornell Univ. PR, 1987. Lapidge. Lucan's Imagery of Cosmic Dissolution, Hermes 107, 344-70. Lee, Matthew. Lucan. Spectacle and Engagement. New York. Oxford Univ. PR, 1997. Marty, Berthy. The Meaning of the Pharsalia, American Journal of Philology 66, 352-76. Martindale, Charles A. The Politician Lucan, Greece and Rome 31, 64-79. Masters, Jamie. Poetry and Civil War in Lucan's Bellum Civila. Cambridge Classical Studies. New York. Cambridge Univ. PR, 1992. Deceiving the Reader. The Political Mission of Lucan's Bellum Civila, Reflections of Nero, Culture, History, and Representation, ed. Jas Elsner and Jamie Masters. Chapel Hill, Univ. of North Carolina PR, 1994, 151-77. Morford, P.O. The Poet Lucan. New York. Oxford Univ. PR, 1967. O'Gorman, Ellen. Shifting Ground. Lucan, Tacitus, and the Landscape of Civil War. Hermathena 159, 117-31. Rossi, Andriola. Remapping the Past. Caesar's Tale of Troy. Phoenix 55, 313-26. Sklinair, Robert John. The Taste for Nothingness. A Study of Virtus, and Related Themes in Lucan's Bellum Civila. Ann Arbor, Univ. of Mitch. PR, 2003. Thomas Richard F. The Stoic Landscape of Lucan 9. Lands and Peoples in Roman Poetry. The Ethnographic Tradition. New York. Cambridge Univ. PR, 1982. 108-23.